Just to point out, people, we are here for Saturday Night Main Event.
But Saturday Night Main Event is not here for us.
Yeah, we've just done a show, so we actually don't have anything to like really kill time with. So
I can
Why
talk
did we
about
start
how
so early?
I can still talk about that. I don't like Mercedes Monet, but whatever.
no. What we'll do is we'll do a tangent episode. What we'll do, we've got Jimmy's email. You know,
We could, yes.
I
Hold on.
love you, my
What-
tribal chief.
What's
I'm
up?
gonna go around. I'll start with Marcus. Jimmy asks,
The answer is no.
"How did you first get into pro wrestling?"
Oh, I had that question a million times. I don't know. It's just lifetime thing. Same as Eric. It's just been around. Grandparents were watching it. Families watching it. Just on his house. Just
Am I
been there
allowed
the
to
whole life.
assist him?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that our wrestling started with our grandfather because our grandfather he watched
that's it.
wrestling.
That's the
And-
same answer I gave.
and our grandmother, but I was there first, so I remember he really enjoyed watching wrestling. And although no one else in our family really watched it, like my uncle would chime in and he would say, "Why y'all watching this stupid fake shit?" That's what he would say normally. My mom didn't care, and like we just watched it, and we did it gravitated. I mean, Hulk
Wait a
Hogan
minute.
and Ultimate Warrior was in our life. That's what it was.
Wait a minute. So what was different than my answer?
Nothing.
I thought you had some more deep.
You didn't. He added some more gravitas to the answer. You decided, oh yeah, it was a grandpa.
Yeah.
You gave a very vague answer, very
It was
closed-winded
the
answer.
same thing. He had the uncle. That's it. And the hate.
See, my
But-
answer was my cousin was watching it. Had like the tapes. He had the whole collection of WrestleManias on tape up to like WrestleMania 7 or 8, and then I started watching them there, and I was hooked. Then we started renting them, and then realized it was on Sky, and I started watching them from there on in.
To be completely honest, I didn't even realize like there was like a VHS community for like people who collect wrestling tapes and stuff like that until later on in my life. Like it'll be occasion that we would go to the video store and rent a wrestling show, but like most times we watched it through the lines, like the like because we couldn't pay for the pay-per-views, but we'd be watching, making shit out through it.
Yeah.
And occasionally, the only pay-per-view we ever got for free was when I think Owen Hart died. Right? Was it Owen Hart or was it Brian Pillman?
Brian Pillman didn't die on the show.
Well, it
Yeah,
was
it
on.
wasn't-
All I know, something happened when somebody died. The shit became free.
No, it was just bad blood. We got that free for some reason. I don't think no one died.
Oh, I always associate somebody dying with it though.
I think this is more directed at Marcus, but I could be wrong. How did you decide what your monikers would be? The grand finale is pretty epic. Got to give props.
It goes way back. Over 20 years ago.
We got time.
I was a
Yeah,
student in ITT Tech, and it's more of a sarcastic moniker because we had a project we had to present, and I hate going last in all projects. I want to go first. I want to set the standards really low. I don't want to be last and see everybody else and then go up there and just be terrible. And then so I went up there last, and I was like, "Oh, here comes the grand finale. Fuck." And so.
Marcus
that's-
is the
That's
best.
pretty much today. Yeah, it's the sarcasm of Marcus the grand finale. So whoopity doo in that name.
Eric,
Marcus-
you don't really have monikers. We just call you the hater.
I'm just Eric. It's been awful that we've tried throughout all these episodes to try to give you. Remember the Prime Factor, which was lame. The hater
I mean,
probably
that was funny, but it just made no sense
Yeah.
a lot of the time.
the hater probably stuck longer, but I would say post heart attack, I don't think my hate has been as bad. It's
Shout
just
out to
more.
Tony Khan and
He's
it's
trying
more-
to say you're the Grinch. He's trying to say
more-
you're the Grinch.
It's more criticism. It's frustration because I understand the importance of AEW being around, and I just think that they do a lot of stupid shit. WWE do too.
What about the TNA hate?
Oh, I don't watch TNA enough.
No, you hated TNA in the early stage. We've been doing this 20 years. You hated TNA for 20 years before AEW showed up.
And then, and as I got older and I go back and look at some of those fond memories, I realized I might have made a mistake. Maybe 5 years from now, I'll realize AEW really did some shit. I don't think they will because they don't have any stories that can last that long. That was a little bit of hate. I'm sorry. But, they have some bangers, though. They have great matches.
You look like a supervillain in a dark cloak right now.
I've had a few on here. Back when I was an emailer, I was the instant coffee. I don't know why, because I don't like coffee. That was weird.
Yeah, I think it was a play on the instant classic of Christian Cage for some reason.
Yeah, it was. And then the show came. I joined you guys, and then it became the Lord. Not the Lord Manny Hayes, which is a spin on Lord Alfred Hayes.
That's what it was. That's exactly what it was.
Because I was British and working amongst Americans.
Yeah, xenophobia.
We're just glad that Manny wasn't as stupid as Lord Alfred Hayes.
and then we just add all the weird ones like all gravy, which is all ego kind of thing, and then we've got the racially ambiguous,
which is one of my favorite ones.
I'm from.
Because when Manny goes, sometimes when we're off the camera, Manny's just like, just call me Hector.
But I think I think the worst moniker of all monikers has to be to Ryan and his moniker, the Boo Boo Baron, which is just so stupid.
Stupid, but then when I found out the actual story behind it, I thought this was even more ridiculous.
Yes.
He wanted to mail boo boo to people.
Yeah.
and leave notes. He'd been struck by the Boo Boo Baron.
Yeah, it
Why?
It made absolutely no sense.
My favorite Eric moniker is Eric with the R in brackets for no reason.
that
bracket
period
R.
Where I was an accidentally registered Republican for whatever reason. Still don't know how that happened.
How much time we got left? We got loads.
We
of time.
Still got 20 minutes.
This one's for me.
Tax brackets, Jack.
He said, Manny, you said you were just a fan of the podcast at first. How did you find out about it? I used to listen to Smart Wrestling Fan, and they recommended the Sharpshooters. So that's how I found out about them. I think I was looking for wrestling podcasts back in the day on an iPod Shuffle when you were doing it on a Windows PC.
That might be my favorite. I'm sorry, Florida
Eric. Do you know what? Florida Eric is mine because you really like took it in and it became Florida Eric.
I had the trucker hat and everything, and yet I've never been to Florida, and I never want to go to Florida.
Continue your story, though, man. Continue.
So listen to YouTube back in the heyday when it was like, I think I came in around episode maybe 40. That's when Floyd was emailing a lot.
Shout out to Floyd, man.
Yeah, Floyd was emailing a lot, and I think that's when you two really caught in your stride because I did listen to a few episodes back as well, and
Floyd saved the show.
Yeah, I think this show was different to what was around. Like I was listening to a few like wrestling podcasts, and I don't know if it was me back then where I was just like, I don't want to be listening to like a lot of white people at the time. I was like, and then this gave a different take. It gave a different take because it was like these guys talk like how I think.
Yeah, and I think the funny thing about it is that one of our biggest criticisms about our show was that we never stayed on topic. That we were just
but that's the fun part about it.
It was like literally you could be listening to the show and then next day our mom would come in, Eric and Marcus, you guys want to eat? No, but we don't want to eat. What you do? Or the stupid thing of putting our sisters in the opening montage and stuff like that. It was.
No, it was fun, and then it was weird. It's weird looking back at it now because you would think doing a 2 to 3 hour show is ridiculous.
We were doing it twice a week.
Yeah,
but you know what? It was details. It was details of the moves and the wrestling storyline. It was. Eric will provide. No, Eric will actually do detail and work. We're covering the news. We're having a discussion on that. And then we talk about the matches. Eric would cover all the promos and stuff verbatim. He would just read notes, and then it'd be comments, and then it would go on these random tangents. Oh, the Dodger game is on, and all that other stuff. And
remember the email
rants.
section. The email section when you were hot. That would take up about a good 45 minutes of the show.
It would.
There was so many emails.
Because my thing was like, if people took the time to write emails, I was gonna read every last freaking email that we got. And you know, I remember Disman be like, "Oh my God, Disman wrote a 5-page." And it's like, "Here we go." And then, of course, I started reading emails, and I would do voices with the emails. Oh, Mr. Feedback was a character.
Mr. Feedback was one.
Mr. Feedback was awful. Oh man.
Luchos has been listening to you guys since almost the beginning. Yeah, and like he mentions the Smart Wrestling Fan. I listened to that and I was like, I don't find this funny at all.
I mean, no shade to them. No shade to. I tried to listen to an episode. I was like, I can't do it. It was boring. I don't know why.
I didn't get it.
Well, I like to say that the show was built kind of out of spite. My origin story, but Eric always changes his answer. It's not the way it started, but the story was origin. Eric would listen to some sorry podcast, and I was like, "This shit is boring. This shit is boring. Where's the energy? Where's the everybody tries to be professional? I just want to go in there and just say shit."
All right, so as you guys are the original wrestling podcast, I think the first, as the moniker should always retain, the first African American wrestling podcast. I think we should continue doing that. Do you?
I believe we hold the Guinness World. I personally hold the Guinness World Record, but you know, Eric could probably be second place.
Personally, okay.
I have more episodes. I have a lot more time talking.
You remember you quit that episode, but I did die, so that's what happened. So
no. There's a whole segment where you missed one episode, and then I didn't miss, and then I continued to go, and then you died of a heart attack, and then I continued to go. There's years and years of me going and not stopping. I'm just saying, I missed maybe like 3 total episodes.
Hey, I helped with that when Eric had the heart attack.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Exclusive hours. I'm talking about my own personal minutes. I think I got everybody beat. I think I'm the world record.
He also asked, "Are there any podcasts you would like to shout out?"
Like, not wrestling podcasts. I listen to podcasts.
Just any podcast. What podcast do you listen to?
Let me open up my. I listen to the Candid Frame, the Life of Phi podcast interviews. There's a new one that I'm listening to that I would have to get the name. But mainly though, like I listen to podcasts, but mostly I listen to audiobooks now because sometimes, like when I'm listening to a podcast, I'd be like, I don't care about that. I also listen to a street photography podcast too. That's about.
It doesn't have a name. It's just called a street photography podcast.
Called the Street Photography Podcast.
Is it really called that?
Yeah, and then I listen to.
Damn, they came with that original title.
I also listen to another one called the Mood Podcast, which is actually interesting when I hear these other podcasts with other creators, whether they be like photographers or artists and stuff like that. And the underlining message that everybody has is like, do you. Don't try to do what other people do. Don't try to copy. Be unique to who you are, and don't worry about if fame or attention comes to you. Because if you
wonder where the show ain't making no money.
If you do something that you love,
you listen to these fools who are making money.
No, I mean, I've never wanted to make money. I just always wanted to sit down and record a show with my brothers and talk shit. That's what the whole purpose of the show was. I've lost more money than I made on this show. That's like when you guys are out there stacking up numbers and stuff like that, I'm like, that's great, but that doesn't drive me. Whether it's one person watching or 300,000 people watching, you know, it's like the only people I care about talking to is you and Manny, and then whoever shows up in the chat room. That's what drives me.
So, Marcus, do you listen to any podcasts?
I ain't got shit.
None of your true crime bullshit?
No, I'm not listening to really anything.
So I think we've reacted to some of these clips on Try Not to Laugh. The podcast is Shits and Gigs. It's the podcast where it's the one where there's the 2 guys and they're like just laughing to Twitter for comments. Like, yeah, it's just, there's that one, and then this is the one that where I kind of based tangents off. It's called The Complete Guide to Everything, where it's just these two guys from New York. They have a topic, but then they end up just spewing on to different things.
Okay. Yeah, mostly if I'm doing anything, it's just random YouTube clips or shit.
Yeah, I'm more.
That took more of my time away from anything. It's like, oh, what are they talking about? Oh, so and so's on this, or they're talking about this. I watch that, but I don't really listen to podcasts anymore.
I feel like for me, like I replace things like it's like if it could be a period when I'm listening to books, or I'm playing video games, or I'm listening to podcasts, but I never do all of them because it's not enough time in the world to do all that stuff. So, like,
There's
I'm really
time in the world. It's just your job gets in the way.
that is, it's believe it or not, it's not even my job. It's the drive. It's like 2 hours there, 2 hours back. I'm losing 4 hours there. So, listen to a book is kind of good. Like, I really enjoyed the Song of Chaos series. I'm just so mad that it's not a finished series, which pisses me off. Michael Miller, who's a Brit, he needs to finish book 4. I need to know what's going to happen.
I don't know why where he comes from is a necessary thing to be throwing out there as to why he hasn't completed a book.
Well, George R. R. Martin ain't completed a book.
He ain't created shit either.
He American. But let me tell you this about these book creators. If I was a book creator, I would have my shit ready to go. It's done. Fuck that. And I may be a terrible author, but that shit be ready. I'm not gonna have people waiting if I'm gonna die or not. That shit will be all written out, but I'm done. Like, if I'm gonna put out a book, this is it. I put out part 1. I'm milking for a little bit, put out part 2, and if I somehow an accident or I die, I'll say just put out part 3.
Well, no,
I don't care if it is unfinished. Put that shit out. I'm so sick of these people who ain't putting out their books.
There are so many people who don't get past part 1 because
I don't
part
read.
1 is so trash. It's just like, because it takes money, man. Like,
all right. Next question. We're back. We're seemingly back to wrestling. Marcus, we'll start with you. Who are your all-time favorite wrestlers and why?
Oh, okay. At least it's not like an order of lists. So, because I always say ask a different number each time. Bryan Danielson, it's on there.
Why? You give
why?
Three of all time.
Just look at him. Just look at him. It's the best. He's the best, damn it.
You just point out Marcus has been swinging off Danielson's dick for years.
Yeah. Swing it. Not swing it. It's like George in the Jungle. I'm just, woo. Watch out for that tree. That motherfucker be fucking. Yeah, but no, I think Danielson's probably the best in the ring storyteller we've ever had and stuff like that. Gotta go all the way back to old Stone Cold for, obvious reasons. Probably ain't matches, just promos or just entertainment value. I always liked The Undertaker just because of the theatrics. It didn't matter what the match was back in the day. Then the matches got good.
No, Kimbe.
Not Kimbe. Just the nonsense. All of that shit was always entertaining to me. There was a Shelton Benjamin phase, the Kane phase. I don't know how many I'm going. I don't know how many it was supposed to.
3. It said 3.
Say 3, but you just
I'm out.
Wow, you didn't even say Ultimate Warrior. That was such a foundation for you right there, though.
It is.
All right, Eric, who's yours?
But I didn't say Hulk Hogan either.
So it's gonna probably be a theme with all my favorite wrestlers: Randy Orton, asshole; Shawn Michaels, asshole; Chris Benoit, asshole.
See, you see how I left people out? You could have did that.
No,
you could have did that.
But like, honestly,
you could have did that.
As much as I like to deny it, like when Chris Benoit, before he did his heinous acts, and I do not condone that, he was one of my favorite wrestlers because I love technical style wrestling. Like, and because he was a smaller person, he overcame all the odds. He couldn't talk to save his life, but whatever. Shawn Michaels, once again, he was a smaller wrestler, but he did things. And when he was coked out of his mind, my God, he was amazing. And now what he's doing now in his second lease on life since he found Jesus is actually great. And then Randy Orton is fucking amazing. Whoever you put Randy in the ring with, he's great. Like, Randy is great. I like Cody, but he ain't up there. Roman is right there, but like Roman is more of this era. And I think I agree with a lot of people that I saw in the mid-card mess where they talk about, I think this generation might be the best generation, especially considering all the old shit that we've watched from the Attitude Era and stuff. It's like, damn.
Mine, Macho Man Randy Savage.
Yeah, you'll be in mine. This is the
reason
problem with the list. It's the problem with the list. Mine would go
I
forever.
broke my arm as a child, which the tattoo now covers most of it, but there's the scar.
How do you not have a Macho Man tattoo of him jumping off that elbow or something?
Because getting anything tattooed on your elbow kills, Marcus.
It hurts.
It
Or
hurts
you
so
can
much.
just put snap into the sim gym. Stop being a bitch. It's about to scare. Come from a
You
guy
get a
that knows
tattoo, and then
tattoos.
you come at me and say stop being a little bitch.
I
You
feel
got a
no
point.
pain.
You got a point.
I feel no pain.
You dead
So,
inside.
man,
That's
you
why.
said Macho Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shawn Michaels, obvious reasons. He was the best of his generation, best, and still is, I think, one of the best wrestlers of all time. He is my goat. But the person that really saved my life and turned it around from a dark stage is Aqua Juice. And it's a bit dark. I've gone down the path before. I haven't braced the subject in a long time, but there was suicidal thoughts and stuff like that. But then never give up, hustle, loyalty, respect. That snapped you out of it. It's something to focus on. And ever since then, like I've been a fan since he was doing the rap gimmick, but like but like as soon as that stuff hit, it's like, okay, this is my guy. This is my guy. He has a message, and you get drawn to that message. Like, I know some people don't like him, but like, there's a darker meaning to why I appreciate John Cena. And there's CM Punk. I had a shitty job at the time, working in a store. I told myself to everyone, I am the best in the world at that shitty job. And then I suddenly started rising through the ranks of becoming just regular person, grunt worker, all the way to supervisor to manager. Hate my life the whole way through.
So
It's just like CM Punk.
You're saying this right now, man. It makes me think of it. I'm gonna give an acknowledgement to this wrestler
We don't have much time.
who was one of my favorite wrestlers, and I bring it up all the time. The only person who I know who have a best of DVD for Ring of Honor, and he lost almost all of those matches. That is the Messiah of the Backbreaker, Roger Strong.
I think that's the greatest nickname of all time.
Huh? Yeah,
Greatest nickname of all
Roger
time.
Strong, like when Marcus was all on Bryan Danielson and he was all on CM Punk and stuff like, and Samoa Joe with the Ring of Honor face. I was like, I like Roddy. Don't know why I like Roddy. Now, when I met Roddy in real life and I realized that I was really taller than him, I was like, shit. But at the same time, he was the Messiah of the Backbreaker, and he brought. It's kind of like those characters like Mr. Perfect and stuff like that. It's wrestling was just a good escape.
All right, quick question then. Is there anybody currently that would crack into your top 10 that's wrestling currently?
Bianca Belair.
Oh, you know what? I feel like I could put a lot of Eve wrestlers on this list because I actually know them as people now, but I'm not gonna do that. Nina Samuels. I'm gonna say Roman. I might put Charlotte on that list. I'm entertained by Charlotte all the time.
Yeah, I think for me, the women wrestling really has
Charlotte?
taken a stage, has really like set the stage for like some of the best matches that I remember have all involved women. Like as much as we talk about that
That's a long
Snake and
answer.
Medusa,
We don't have time for answers.
Bianca
We've got plenty of
and
time.
it's not on yet for me. Bianca.
I got an answer.
Oh, go ahead, Marcus. I'm sorry. I got caught up.
That's what I'm saying. Go ahead. Finish your statement. That's what I'm saying.
No, I'm just saying that Bianca.
You don't get to go
Sasha-
twice.
Bianca and Sasha
We still have questions.
was such a pivotal moment for women's wrestling and also for people of color that it made me feel good.
Yeah, what's your answer, Marcus?
My answer is nobody. No.
That's what he made us wait for.
I love doing that. I don't think there's anybody that cracks like my top 10 though. Currently, I think Roman comes close because he's just entertaining. Comes close to cracking my like all-time top 10 guy. My personal guy. Roman's all right.
Mark,
I like his persona.
Can I ask you a question though, Marcus?
Yeah, sure.
There's somebody that was not in your top 3, and I'm curious, is he at your 4? Because I know you're a huge fan of this guy. Where's Kurt Angle at on your list?
Angle's in somewhere around top 15.
Oh, top 15. He's a lot lower than I thought.
No, I love Kurt Angle.
Well, I was
There's a lot of perk Angle in there and a lot of other stuff, but Kurt's great. Kurt is a master of the ring. It's just overall, like to me, he was a big goofy. So
with the
that's what made him special.
Shirts that you own.
Huh?
Does Kevin Owens make your list with all the KO Mania shirts you own?
No, I just like his shirts more than actually the wrestler.
Wow.
He doesn't even he probably not even did my top 20.
Wait, where does Okada sit?
Okada's somewhere in there. I love Okada.
What about Nakamura?
I think Okada's great. Oh shit.
Do you like Marcus right now? If you have to pick between Okada and Nakamura, who do you take?
Are they current state or from the past?
Their old body of work, Mark. Their body of work.
I take Nakamura.
I agree. I appreciate.
I think the theatrics of Nakamura is more entertaining than the Okada as just just a wrestler guy with money.
AJ Styles is a very, very good. I forget about AJ. I always forget about AJ. He is phenomenal.
You know, I wouldn't think to put R-Truth in the top 5, but you know what? He is fucking hilarious.
Man, you can make an argument. And he is the first NWA champion, the first African American one.
Yeah.
And Booker T.
first TNA champion.
Can I tell you?
Not first TNA champion.
Shantae loves Booker T on NXT commentary because he just says the most ridiculous shit ever.
Well, when people talk about R-Truth, I think Booker T might be the funniest wrestler to have ever actually existed.
I mean,
I think he's the funniest wrestler ever. No, I think it is R-Truth these days.
No, but I think Booker has him beat for over years of time of actually being a wrestler and just not doing comedy. King Booker, hilarious. The Goldust tag team, hilarious. The feuding with Steve Austin, hilarious.
I mean, him being beat up in a grocery store might be still the top 5, might be the number one moment.
Honestly, and if I even go back, all the way back, Booker T was probably in my top 5 growing up as well. Somewhere in there. As in solo Booker T, from Harlem Heat to solo Booker T to even the King Booker days. Booker T goes all the way back.
Manny, I know your dislike for tag wrestling. Is there a tag
even
team?
Black Snow commentary.
Is there a tag team I like?
Like a favorite? Do you have a favorite tag team?
I'm sure there is.
Okay,
But my disdain for tag team wrestling, I'd have to go back in the archives and actually pull one out.
You know, also an honorable mention for me, once again, fall into my asshole theme, Triple H. I think Triple H doesn't get as much credit as he deserves, but he's just fucking asshole.
Well, he can't get that credit. He can't get the credit. He should have married the boss's daughter if he wanted credit.
Well, fellas, I'm gonna wrap up this episode of Tangents right here.
Like a condom?
And say happy holidays. As Jimmy says. Anyway, that's happy holidays. Thanks for the hard work. What we'll do is there are several more questions. What we will do is we will answer those on another episode. Maybe the next Saturday's the final episode of the 2024 on Saturday, the 21st of December. Oh, Gunther's back.
That's good, boo.
Oh,
get it to him, Gunther.
Yeah, those boots look painful.
Dressed like fucking Regal right now. There's only one more match after this, right?
Don't let Puerto Rican Kane do this to you.
No, we have 2 more matches. You have the U.S. title match with Chelsea Green and Michin.
Oh.
And then you have the main event.
David Priest is kind of dressed like Puerto Rican Kane.
I just said that.
I know,
just
man.
said those exact words.
I was repeating it. Okay, can we get props?
How dare you try and repeat a joke I said and steal it?
Sorry.
Nearly seconds after it happened.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. My headset wasn't working. I didn't hear it exactly. But shout out to Finn for not taking the easy super kick and doing the chop.
You know, David Priest guy looks like a Puerto Rican Kane.
you.
Marcus, I don't appreciate you stealing my joke that I stole from Betty. Okay, it's one thing to steal it from one person, but to steal it from the second person is sickening. You should apologize.
Yeah, but my joke is layered because it's a joke of mocking you and also saying what Betty is saying. So mine was deep.
Fuck you, Montez. Fuck you.
Why is Eric dressed like a guy that owns a food truck that he parks outside the Lakers arena?
I'm dressed like your dad because I'm son of you, kid.
And again, I don't understand why we're not in the business of showing up at arenas in food trucks or out there with the hot dog vendor. We just it's just people giving you money for bullshit.
But Marcus, you
There's
know
nothing
that
you put on that grill has to be good.
But Marcus,
no, you don't.
No,
Not in California.
You don't
need the shit. You show up.
But Marcus, you're gonna have to deal with the Mexican gays because that's like they're protected.
Yeah, I'll talk to them.
I'm telling you, man.
When they start Manny, can you talk to the Mexican gays for me? Throw that shit at them. I'm a Mexican from the UK.
Why would I do that?
It's just revenue coming in. It's just easy money. They're just out there throwing the kitty hot dogs out there and selling their tequila
and
the bottles.
Catfish tacos sound real good too. I'll let you know. I ain't gonna lie. Some fried catfish taco shit with like a cabbage slaw.
Fish tacos. Does anybody call fried catfish?
With a cabbage slaw on that motherfucker? Yeah, boy.
Please do slaw. Keep your own slaw. Keep your slaw. Keep your slaw.
I like my slaw. I like a little bit of lettuce slaw on my tacos.
Okay, Eric, I will ask you this about your food truck. When I get my taco, do I get any type of pepper that you grilled or anything? If you ain't grilled no peppers, man, I don't want it.
I'll give you some peppers.
Thank you.
How much attitude I'm getting at the truck?
Well, if Shantae's taking the order, you're going to get a lot. If Shantae Mama's taking the order,
wait a goddamn minute, okay, sir?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I ordered these tacos 20 minutes ago. You don't wait 20 more minutes if you keep acting like this. Yeah. I don't like your stank attitude.
And Eric, do me and Marcus get cut the line privileges?
I have roles for you guys to walk in and be like, hey, come on, guys.
This is bullshit. These guys showed up. I've been waiting 25 minutes for my damn taco, and this guy just shows up and get his. What he ordered?
No. Keep walking up the line four times.
No, you guys.
They're both drunk too.
May he rest in peace. I'll be like John Omos, just taking somebody else's food. Here you go, guys.
Some of the good stuff. This is the good stuff.